Welcome again to Exiles TV. I was just telling Bill, as we were getting ready to go to live, the music was taking control of me. I was like, let's dance.
Yes, indeed.
Come on, man, let's go. Chicago. Who doesn't
So a
want to
guy
tap?
walks into a bar.
Yeah?
The bartender says, what do you have? The guy says, a Corona and 2 Hurricanes. And the bartender said, that'll be 2020.
Woo! Ha ha! I like it. I like it.
We're going to open up the phones and spend a lot of time on the Alton Sterling case. I know everybody in Baton Rouge has been looking at this, but you know, you folks in Lafayette, you're probably going to be facing one of these too.
Yes, you will.
Very soon.
I guarantee you will.
And you folks in New Orleans have got one of these that's pending. And here's the deal. I'm going to crystallize this as much as I can. On July 5th, in the early morning hours of July 5th, Baton Rouge police were dispatched to a neighborhood grocery and convenience store to investigate a report of a man brandishing a firearm. They pulled up. Alton Sterling was outside, allegedly selling CDs. The police approached him. They thought they saw a gun in his pocket. They asked him to put his hands on the car so they could check him out. He didn't. A struggle ensued. It got very, very violent. He was reaching for his gun. He was shot 4 times by a BRPD officer, and he died. The coroner's report indicated that he was also full of opiates, including fentanyl and heroin, at the time of his death. He was also a convicted felon, so he was not entitled to have a firearm on his person.
Under the 3 strikes you're outlaw, that would have been his 3rd strike.
That would have been it.
Convicted felon in possession of a firearm, that would have been his 3rd strike.
We had nights of demonstrations here in Baton Rouge. We had a vigilante come to this city who killed police officers and wounded other police officers in the name of Alton Sterling. And then family members appeared, represented by counsel, and they wanted to sue for wrongful death. In the intervening time, there was a thorough investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice, which found that Alton Sterling's rights were not violated by the police officers and that no crime occurred. Another investigation, led by the Attorney General's office and the state police, found that no crime occurred and that it was what was called a justifiable shooting. The family wanted to sue for, I believe, $12.5 million for the support of his minor children. It was asked for them to go into mediation, which they did, and their mediator came back with a $5 million offer, which is $4 million more than the absolute maximum cap on wrongful death suits against a municipality in the state of Louisiana. But a Metro Council member...
Let's say again, in the state of Louisiana, there is a $1 million wrongful death cap when you're suing a municipality.
Thank you. That's exactly right. Their attorney said, well, we're going to get around that. Now, they've not been inside a courtroom, okay? 2 members of the Metro Council put an item on the agenda, which was heard last night, to just go ahead and give the family $5 million. And in their reasons, I found a lot of flaws. Councilman Lamont Cole, one of the co-sponsors, said, it's time, after more than 4 years, that Baton Rouge move beyond the issue and, quote, begin a process of healing. Shauna Banks, the original sponsor of the measure, said, it's time for the community to move forward. I don't even know what that means.
The community's been moving forward ever since the night that it happened.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's happy speak. It's
Well, the point is,
it's double talk.
the point I was trying to get to is they didn't talk about matters of law. They didn't talk about matters of fact.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't talk about a finding, by the way, a finding of unlawful death. Because these people have not been inside of a courtroom.
So in other words, what the Metro Council was voting on is, do we give the family $5 million just because?
Yeah, and
Just
hope,
because.
and make it all go away. Because a couple of us feel the community needs to move forward, whatever the hell that means. Only one person last night spoke as a matter of law, and that is relatively new Councilwoman Jen Racca. And she said, as an attorney, she questions whether the council had the authority to vote on a settlement without recommendations from the parish attorney who represents the council. She also said there are serious issues of law that have yet to be answered. So there we have it. And by the way, before we go to break, I'm sorry, it's not coincidental that every African American member of that council voted yes on giving $5 million. Not one said, I think we should let a court decide whether there was, in fact, a wrongful death.
Mm-hmm.
And I am sorry.
Well, why not? It's not their money. I mean, it's taxpayer money they're giving away.
Well, but I am used to seeing, having watched the council up close and personal for more years than I care to count, I have seen votes split on racial lines before. And it's usually over a matter of economics or social difference. No, I don't want this new plant that's getting a tax break to be located in a predominantly white section of town. We need the economic development in a black section of town. You know what? And I usually agree with that. But I'm sorry. This one rubbed me the wrong way. That without going into a courtroom, without establishing in a courtroom that there has been a wrongful death, that all the African American council members voted in favor last night of giving a settlement. It didn't pass, but the vote was still there. We're going to talk how most wrongful death cases are calculated, and then I want to hear from you, okay? A brief break. Back with more on Exiles TV. Did I make it?
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
We are back. Exiles TV. Thank you so much for watching on this, the 10th of September. Don't forget that at 10 o'clock tonight, 12 hours hence, we have a repeat performance. And later, if you're more of the, I like to watch these things at my own time, well, you can pick us up on demand on YouTube.com. Go to the Pelican Broadcasting page. Now, what we're talking about, the Metro Council in East Baton Rouge Parish voted last night. I think the vote was 6-5.
6-5 with one abstention.
With one abstaining, and it fell along racial lines, but the vote was, do we give the family of Alton Sterling, a man who was shot by police early in the morning of January 5th, 2016, do we give his family $5 million as a way of saying, trial or no trial, we understand this was a wrongful death.
Oh, and by the way, you know, originally, and I think they've amended this suit, originally, there were people that were not first-degree relatives that were attaching themselves to
Oh,
this
yeah,
suit.
I'm sure cousins come out of the woodwork when these things
Aunts,
happen.
cousins, things like that. And usually it is only first-degree relatives or caregivers. But just to go into this, all right, here is how wrongful death damages are calculated. You ready?
Yes.
The decedent's earning capacity. Now, he is a twice convicted, twice jailed felon who did not have a real job, was selling CDs at 2 in the morning. So,
Wait a minute, let me interject here. He was selling CDs. He was selling pirated entertainment media, which is a federal crime. I don't know if he was the source of his own CDs or he was moving someone else's product, but it is a federal crime to sell pirated entertainment media.
but either way, we're not going to talk about charging him with that because he's dead.
Yeah.
What would his earning capacity be?
Meh,
You think he'd earn $5 million?
maybe 10, 15K a year,
Maybe.
maybe.
His age.
He probably was earning just enough to buy him whatever it was that he wanted to get to alter his mood.
Yeah, all right. His age is the next thing. So someone that's 35 years old and, you know, making $180K a year with a big accounting firm, all right, now you're looking at that. You're looking at how much he'd get in raises over the next, say, 21 years, maybe 25 years, and that's how you calculate the earnings. The decedent's training and education. All right, we've got a big fat zero there for Alton Sterling.
Do we even know if he graduated high school?
I don't know, but most of his training happened inside the Louisiana State Penitentiary in one of their units. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Now, some of you all might be getting mad because we're assassinating the character of a dead man, but
We're not. We're not saying anything that
we're
isn't
not telling
true.
you anything that's not true.
I don't need to do any hyperbole on this. It is what it is. Their health prior to death. Well, we know that he was taking a lot of drugs and a lot of alcohol prior to his death.
We had an official tell us that at the time, his blood toxicology report was like reading an inventory sheet for Walgreens.
Yeah.
Okay? That basically, you name it, he was on it.
The circumstances and age of the decedent's dependents.
Okay?
Well, a few of them have come forward. They weren't there until somebody announced a lawsuit. Mm-hmm. And one of his dependents is also awaiting trial on a felony charge right now. That's part of the circumstances.
I think it's statutory rape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Value of lost benefits, health insurance and pensions. That would be zero. Funeral expenses. I don't know what that cost. It was a very lavish funeral, but
It was a pretty lavish funeral.
somebody paid for it. And medical bills. Not much there. So, here's the whole thing. How many of you think, because the officer that fired those shots was not the most genteel person on earth, he didn't say, please, sir, stop struggling. He used a lot of profanity. He cussed at him. And he was white, and Alton Sterling was black. How many people think just for that reason that should be determined a wrongful death, and his dependents should get a check. How many of you think that at trial they may find that there was no wrongful death? Because remember, 2 investigations exonerated the officers.
And believe me, that's going to come up.
Yeah. And that the judge will say $0. And how many of you think in a city that has a very good-sized African-American population like Baton Rouge, that a jury is going to follow their ideas of what social justice would be as opposed to what the law and the facts are? And as I said, you in Lafayette, you've got that shooting that happened 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. You're going to be facing this too in Lafayette. There's another case in the New Orleans area. You're going to be facing this too. And just as a general rule of thumb, how many of you think that the government, the people who represent us, have an absolute obligation to have our day in court and not settle any of these?
What I don't understand is why the family feels that because of what happened. And look, I am not happy that they're out a family member, but there are plenty of families who lose a loved one in a horrible way that was not there.
We had one yesterday right by the Greyhound station. The guy stood over him and fired 4 more bullets after he got him twice on the run.
Yep. But I won't even get started on the whole black-on-black crime thing, not right now, maybe later in the show. But why is it up to the taxpayers to make this right for them?
Well, if there's a legitimate course of action, I believe we should be allowed to sue the government and all their various agencies if there's a legitimate course of action.
Well, the police officer was fired, and the reason he was fired, according to the chief, was because he wasn't nice.
Yeah, he couldn't control his temper.
Now, again, 2 independent investigations said he didn't violate the man's civil rights, and no crime was committed by those police officers. So the police officers lose their job because they weren't nice. By the way, I think the one officer who really was just there, he didn't fire a shot. He didn't.
Yeah, really, he's back.
He didn't
on.
even speak much of it. You know, he's back. He's been reinstated. But the other one, Blaine Salamone, is out. But because he wasn't nice.
Here is the point. Do you think that a jury in East Baton Rouge Parish, which will largely and most probably and quite frankly should be made up largely of African Americans because of the population mix in this city, do you think that they're just going to say, white cop, black guy, give him some money? Now, that may be an oversimplification, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Give us a call, please. 225-831-1029. We're going to take a break, and then I want to hear from you on this important issue on Exiles TV.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, welcome back. It's Exiles TV. The question we pose of you, and we'd like you to get involved, there's the phone number right there on your screen, in the 225 area code 831-1029. Let's have your opinions, your feelings. Should the family of Alton Sterling, who was killed by police while resisting arrest, I think it's safe to say that that's what happened. He was killed while resisting arrest. This was not a murder. This was not a random gunning down of a black man. This is a guy who resisted arrest until police had no choice but to open fire. Should his family get $5 million just for being his family? When federal authorities say his civil rights weren't violated, state authorities say police didn't commit a crime, nevertheless, he's gone. His family is without him, but I think that we could debate whether or not his family is okay without him or they're suffering without him.
Well, he wasn't even living with his family.
That's exactly, see, this is what we understand, is he'd been a virtual stranger to his family for quite some time. But the man's character notwithstanding, $5 million, and they originally wanted 12.
Yeah, 12 and a half.
You had just uncovered, you were doing some research during the commercial break, when people do sue over a police shooting, is $5 million a normal settlement?
Here are 29 cases, or 38 cases, and 29 where there were recoveries for wrongful death against police, okay? Now, so 9 cases got 0, all right? For the rest of them, the average recovery involving a death was $656,000, with a high of $7 million, that was 1, and a low of $30,000. So what this tells me is that when they come in there with a $5 million settlement offer, there is no attorney representing the city that's going to say, oh yeah, let's take that offer. Because chances are they only want a settlement because they don't think they can prove it in court. And also, if they can prove it, they're going to go through the things I went through the last segment of how you calculate the dollars, and they're going to come up with $16.85. Have a nice day.
Plus, my question is this. Do they have any kind of a case to present? That's obviously they don't want to go to court. That's why they were hoping that the Metro Council would give them $5 million. You know, they want to settle out of court. Well, now, I think their court date is later this month.
No, it's in March of 2021.
Oh, so it's next year.
So a month from now, or 2 months from now, they'll come back and they'll say, how about $1 million?
Yeah. Can we have 2?
And that's going to be real tempting for Metro Council members because they've already paid, the city has already paid $190,000 in attorney's fees.
Mm-hmm. My feeling is the city parish shouldn't settle this case. Period.
I think as a matter of policy, they should never settle it.
They should never settle a case. If they're suing the city parish for a wrongful death, let it go to trial.
Yeah.
Let it go to trial. I'm not saying every time that they'd lose, but at least you'd have you'd have a jury's decision or a judge's decision in the case to go on. This were just, okay, well, we understand you're upset, so here's $5 million. It didn't happen. Is it a surprise to you, Bill, that the yay votes who voted for the $5 million settlement were all of the African-American members of the council and 1 white member, and the nay votes were all the remaining white members of the Metro Council?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not surprised.
It's disappointing to me that it split down racial lines.
It is disappointing that not everyone said the facts and the evidence should be heard in court, and that's where it should be decided. This is not a slip and fall in City Hall where somebody broke their hip and they want $25,000. That isn't what this is. This is about a wrongful death. And it's a very important point. It needs to be decided in a court. It shouldn't be settled.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm sorry, when these people were offering settlements, I was like, this is nothing but Mardi Gras mentality. They're not talking about the law or the facts. Throw me something, mister or madam. And I'm sorry, I don't agree with it. And I don't care what races were involved in the altercation that ended up in the fatality, who walked away and who didn't. I don't care about that. I think the reason we have a judiciary is to make decisions about these tough cases. Now, I think what a lot of people don't realize is even if the jury votes basically on, shall we say, social action, the judge can set it aside. The judge can say, as a matter of fact or a matter of law or both, you are in error, and I'm setting that judgment aside. Or, if he doesn't want to go through that, he or she, they can say, okay, you have entered into your judgment that it was a wrongful death. We find for the plaintiff in the amount of $0.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there are some checks and balances in a courtroom that don't exist at the Metro Council.
By the way, I know someone very, very well who entered into a civil lawsuit several years ago. Went through a long, long, drawn-out process, nearly 8 years, getting their days in court, presented their case, presented their witnesses. The jury found for the plaintiffs and awarded them $1.
Mm-hmm.
$1.
Yeah.
So this is another risk that the family of Alton Sterling and the lawyers
you have to calculate all those things, his earning potentials. Pretty much zippity-doo-dah, don't you think? Seriously.
Yeah. This guy had no potential. He had, that's a terrible thing to say, but I'm sorry. He had no potential. He had no earnings potential. He had no growth potential. He had no improvement potential. He had reached a point in his life where criminal activity was the only activity he knew.
What do they pay for jobs in the penitentiary? 8 cents an hour?
Something like that.
That's pretty much what you should calculate.
Mm-hmm. You know, the man found himself living a lifestyle that was the product of his own decision-making. And
oh, no,
even,
it's your fault. And it's my fault.
Even if he was horribly impaired by drugs the night of his death, they were still his own decisions. When the police officer gave him a directive, put your hands on the vehicle so that I can, search your pockets, he chose not to obey.
Now, let me tell you who's got a wrongful death suit that's probably worth $150 million.
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor. That is the paramedic.
Why isn't that name heard more often? That is a good case of where police really screwed up.
Well, and
an innocent woman died.
It also meets the criteria of a wrongful death. They were negligent in that they went to the wrong house to serve that warrant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you can't prove any negligence here in the Alton Sterling case.
Cops wouldn't have even been there if not for what Alton decided to do that night.
Well, and not only that, but he had a gun and he was reaching for it. They followed proper procedure. Now, the fact that Blaine Salamone was terminated because of the things he said, and he said some very graphic, nasty things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, control of temper, I believe, is what he was, fired for. That doesn't have anything to do with this case either, because most of that is after the fact.
Yes.
After the fact.
Plus, by the time, if you're a police officer, we've talked to police officers about this. You're a police officer and you've just had to shoot a man dead, you know that your career is highly at risk, if not over. So I think there is, I don't know, justification, but if Blaine Salamone got emotional at that point, maybe he's to be excused. But he did say he said some pretty terrible stuff I heard on the videotape.
But again, no laws were broken. And no one is alleging any negligence. So, that has to be a part of a wrongful death suit. I think the family's attorneys, and they're probably working on a contingency, so far they've made zero.
Mm-hmm.
I think they know they've got a case that probably won't be successful in court, and that's why they came up with this giant settlement offer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this was, have you ever played darts? And somebody hands you a set of darts you're not familiar with,
mm-hmm.
and the first one you just kind of throw an air ball so you can get an idea how it feels?
Yeah. What's the heft? Does it have a play? Does it tend to fly one way or another?
That's what the $5 million settlement offer is.
Is it top heavy? Is it tail heavy? Yeah.
And again, there are probably phone calls going on right now going, look, we don't want to go to trial with this. And it could cost you more at trial, and you're spending money on attorneys, and we haven't made a dime. Let's float another number. I know that's going on right now.
Bill, I question the council person who brought this to the council. Wait a minute, you want us to cough up $5 million in taxpayer money when this thing is still 8 months from trial?
2 of them. One sponsor, one co-sponsor, and then, by the way, 3 more that voted affirmative immediately when it came to a vote. This is a matter of we are going to give them some money because a white cop shot a black guy. That's what this is. No examination in court to prove as a matter of fact or a matter of law or both that it was in fact a wrongful death. They don't call these suits, hey, let's make a deal. They don't call these suits The Price is Right. They call them wrongful death suits for a reason. And oh, by the way, Metro Council members, if you had voted for this settlement, thank God you didn't, as a whole council, you would have told your police department, hey, you're really on your own. We're not going to stand with you. We're not going to look at the totality of the circumstances. And the next time you're thinking about taking that weapon out of its holster, maybe instead you just turn around and run away.
Yeah. I got to be honest, if I were a white cop and the perpetrator was a black man, I'd be very reluctant to draw that weapon. Very reluctant.
And
just get in the car and drive away.
Isn't that what some activists want?
Yes. Yes, some of these activists want nothing less than a pass for any wrongdoing because of the color of one's skin.
Well,
what would Dr. Martin Luther King say about that?
They also don't calculate the damage, the potential damage to everybody else that's nearby. I mean, most of these weapons incidents happen in a public space.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, we've had, for those of you not in Baton Rouge and not aware of our local headlines, in the last week, we've had a 14-year-old girl shot as she lay in her bed with gunfire that penetrated the house. We had how old is she, 3.5?
Yeah, a toddler.
3.5-year-old child was in a vehicle while there was a running gun battle going on. She's dead. It's crazy, and yet we're being asked to excuse certain behavior.
But here's the whole thing. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, you've got one of these. We're on the hook. All of us who live in these cities and pay taxes, we're on the hook for the consequences. Do you think they should have settled, or do you want you, the taxpayer, to have your day in court on this? 225-831-1029. We'll be back in a moment after a brief break on Exiles TV.
That's right, the Clarence Buggs Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down.
Taste the feeling. Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
I owed the IRS $10,000. The IRS garnished my wages. They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back. Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours. Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Hey, we're back. Exiles TV. During the commercial, we looked over, we saw we had a missed call, and I don't know how we missed the call, but if you want to call us back right away, we'll be glad to take it. 225-831-1029. That's 225-831-1029.
You know what I find very interesting is there are, because this is now so far in the rearview mirror, And there have been other intervening cases that have caught the attention of the community and of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I find that there is a bit of a lack of involvement or interest in whether or not Alton Sterling's family gets a settlement or a judgment.
Mm-hmm.
There are not as many people that have jumped up and down and said this is outrageous as they did when the investigations were going on. And I remember people that were outraged because they saw a video and they said, why are they investigating these cops? Well, they should have. And I'm glad they did. And I'm glad that they were thorough.
Well, I think just about any time a cop kills somebody, there's an investigation.
Sure.
Can you think of a time there isn't?
No. But I think a lot of that was because there were people that wanted those cops to be jailed before there was even any kind of an investigation.
Someone who knows me well. They know exactly what I'm doing at this hour of the morning.
And then they're calling you on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Go ahead, answer. It might be fun.
No, it's going to be one of those, hi, this is Heather from Account Services.
Oh, is it Heather from
We've been
Account
trying to
Services?
reach you about your the extended warranty on your car. But people don't call me.
You know, here's the thing. I think I am more bothered by the fact that it appears that we have certain elements of our Metro Council who want to sit in that chamber and introduce items, speak on items, vote based on a sociological or a political construct rather than the facts. Why would you, if you are an African American representative, you're a member of the Metro Council, you got elected fair and square, and your district, whether it's all African American or partially African American or split, you know, but your district sent you there fair and square.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you then sit on that dais and not want this to go to the judicial branch for a full and complete hearing? And the only reason I can think of is that you didn't want that was because you wanted to be seeing the one that was handing them the money.
Boom. Here's my issue right with this. You're either a public servant or you're an activist. I don't think, my personal opinion, that there's room for you to be both. You're either a public servant and you do what a Metro Council member is supposed to do and represent the people of your district, or you represent an ideal. And I just don't think that there's room for activism on the city council of a major city in the United States. And I worry about districts who vote an activist to represent them on the Metro Council, because you're not going to get fair, honest. There are other very important matters that come up before a city council, and if you're running everything through the prism of your activism, then you're not giving proper representation to your people.
Well, and again, the way our Metro Council works in Baton Rouge, and I don't know about in Lafayette, I don't know about New Orleans, but the way ours works is you never get direct question and answer between the council members. You can speak on an item, but you can't say, that statement you made is outrageous, I would like you to verify it.
Everything that guy just said right there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I want to know what's in somebody's head when they say, we should write a $5 million check. We should authorize it today so that we can move forward. I would like to say, Councilwoman, what does that mean, move forward? Explain that to me in terms of a legal settlement and the law and the facts. The only way you move forward with this is you put it in a court of law and you let each side put on their witnesses.
Again with the boom. See, this is my problem with the whole proposition. What we were talking about is offering the family $5 million to shut up and go away so we don't have a civil trial that they could quite possibly lose.
Or that will award them a vastly smaller sum.
Mm-hmm. And I think
which means the attorneys get a vastly smaller sum.
I think it was inappropriate that was brought before the Metro Council by one of its members, and I'm glad that they voted not to do it.
But
doesn't mean that by the way, they won't propose it again. Next month it'll be $4 million.
The questions remain. I mean, do you trust the people who represent you wherever you live to act in accordance with good law, good policy, and good intentions? Or did you send them there because you want them, if somebody in your household or your community or circle of influence needs some sort of a favor?
Mm-hmm. Or did you send them to represent you in government because you want them to have the emotional, choose sides, facts don't matter reaction? Is that what you want them to do for you?
Well, Councilman Matt Watson was one of the ones that spoke last night. Matt is running for mayor, it's no secret. And he was trying to ask a question of the parish attorney's office as to why a specific attorney was not on this case, an attorney who had experience in these kinds of cases. And he was trying very hard to be sensitive in the way he asked it, and it ended up getting very clumsy, and the answer made him look bad. And it's like, well, I asked him. This is the parish attorney that was there representing their office. I asked him, and he deliberately recused himself. I think Matt was trying to find out if anybody put pressure on this guy to recuse himself. But he didn't come right out and say it that way. And I mean, I'm sorry. And this is why I don't think I could be a council member under their rules. I would have, if I were there, I would have said, Ms. Banks, what does that mean? It's time to move forward in terms of the law. What does that mean? And even with Jen Rocca, who I think has done a great job in the short time she's been on the council.
She's a brilliant attorney.
She said a number of questions of law. I would have said, please, tell me what they are. But see, you don't do it that way. You ask to speak, you're taken in order, so you may be 4 people after the thing you want clarification on has happened. And there is no debate, per se. And that's the problem, I think. Because, and they've gotten used to not hauling each other short when they say something that doesn't quite fit or is quite frankly ridiculous. I mean, you know me, I don't like all the euphemistic speak. It's time for a healing process. Now, I've just researched about 10 pages of wrongful death suits. That's not mentioned anywhere. That's not something you would bring to court to either win or defend your wrongful death suit. It's time to move forward. What the hell does that mean? Oh, and bring the family closure. What the hell does that mean?
That's a nice phrase, bring the family closure, because what is closure?
You know what closure is?
My father died how many years ago? 5 years ago? I still don't have closure. My father's dead. I'll never get him back. I don't have closure.
Well, in a case like this, the closure is when they close the lid on the box that some other family probably paid for. And why do you think you're entitled to closure, whatever that is? You're entitled to facts and law.
Did anybody at this Metro Council meeting ask, how much money are we going to give the families of the officers who were murdered a week and a half later?
No.
Are we going to take care of them at all?
Well, we got nobody we can sue.
Those officers weren't even involved, and they just were doing their job one Sunday morning when somebody decided to murder them.
The thing is, Blaine Salamone and Howie Lake were just doing their job.
They just responded to a call. They didn't know what they were walking
into. On that early Sunday morning when all this unfolded in front of them. But, you know, what would have been funny, ironic, funny is not the right word, is let's just say this guy that came up from, where was it, Missouri? If he'd come around the corner with his rifle and one of those officers had gotten the drop on him and put 2 in his skull pan.
Well, then it would have been, especially if it would have been one of the white officers, That would have been another horrible, the white man killed.
Well, yeah, I mean, would we be having another wrongful death trial from his relatives that are coming out of the woodwork?
Yes. Yes.
I would hope not, but quite probably.
It is nature now to not accept responsibility for one's wrongdoing or the wrongdoing of a loved one or a close relative. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll bring it back, close out the hour here, but we got a whole another hour to go here on Exiles TV.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Welcome back, Exiles TV. We're taking your phone calls and your thoughts at 225-831-1029. Talking about these wrongful death cases against police officer shootings that seem to be the purview of white officers, black victims, and a settlement which was refused in Baton Rouge. Let's go to the phone. I'm sorry, who is it? Joseph? Joseph.
Hi, Joseph. Thanks for calling.
What's on your mind?
Hello.
Hi. We're right here, Joseph. Go for it.
You got to listen through your phone, not the TV. Turn the TV down.
Oh, okay. Tell me the name of the program, the verdict, the name of the program.
Our program?
Yeah.
Exiles TV.
Right there on your screen.
Exiles. Okay. All right.
Turn the television all the way down. Now.
There we go.
What's on your mind?
I just wanted to say I just happened to stumble on your program, The Exiles, and my eyes were open. I never knew that people would talk about the facts with such clarity as I've heard today.
Well, thank you.
I only found out that you've been on for a couple of months, and I can assure I'm in a nursing home, incidentally.
God bless you.
And I would now I'll put you on my things to watch on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 12.
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. We appreciate you being with us. We are at our counterpart to Clarence Bug Show on Mondays and Wednesdays. If you're at home and you're watching television in the daytime, we're the only local Louisiana topical program that you're going to find. I mean, everything else is going to be network, and you're going to get wonderful shows like The View.
Well, and also, if you have caught your local news at 6 o'clock, in the 10 o'clock news block, this show is replayed, so you can watch it then.
Yep.
Tell
And,
your friends.
Don't forget YouTube. If you go to the Pelican Broadcasting page on YouTube, these programs, all of them, not only our program, but the Clarence Bug Show, the Rocket Right Show, the great sports programming, and more, it's all right there on the YouTube page for Pelican Broadcasting.
Now, real quick question before we go to the top of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
And you can ask me the same question that I'm going to ask you. Could you serve on this jury and be unbiased?
Could I serve on the jury and be unbiased? I might have to say no, because in my opinion, Alton Sterling is dead because he made a series of bad decisions that night. So probably not, I guess.
I couldn't. I could not serve on the jury.
When people...
I have made up my mind.
I am pro-law enforcement. I am a person that believes that every cop out there, every cop, black, white, Asian, I don't care, that they don't go on watch thinking, maybe tonight's the night I'll get to kill somebody. Or maybe tonight I'll get to kill a blank, whatever race you may imagine that they hate. Okay? No cop wants to discharge his weapon, much less kill somebody with it. No cop wants that to happen. This was a sad turn of events,
Sure it
and the
was.
man who was calling the shots, the man who was ruling the dance card, was Alton Sterling. His actions brought about the outcome of events that night.
I couldn't serve on this jury simply because I don't believe that there's anything that would allow this to become a legitimate lawsuit. In other words, I'm going to sit there and say there are two independent, thorough investigations that didn't say any of the things that you have to have. Negligence, breach of duty, causation, and so therefore, I don't think that it even belongs here, Your Honor, so you really don't want me on this jury.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do it.
But nevertheless, they will seat a jury for this thing.
Oh, yeah, they'll seat a jury.
To me, this may be, if a case demanded a change of venue, this may be the one. I'd take this to Shreveport and try it.
Jesus, I'd take it to Pocatello, Idaho.
I think that everybody, if a prospective black juror, I think 9 times out of 10 is going to say, "Oh yeah, the cops murdered that man." And I'm sorry if I'm being unfair, but Bill and I watched this thing unfold. We were radio announcers. We had a daily show. We watched this thing unfold. We talked to citizens, and we saw an almost blanket feeling in the black community that trial be damned, these cops committed murder, they need to go up.
Well, and I think that is something that has been developed. And if the people doing this were child molesters, we'd call it grooming.
Okay, I'm going to say one more quick thing. Michael Brown in Ferguson, that proved to be a false narrative. Alton Sterling was a false narrative. So many of these cases, when you start breaking it down and getting the facts, it just ain't so. It's just not so. Quick break. We'll be back with Hour 2.
Belello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances. Your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita. He's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome back. It is Hour 2, Exiles TV. So the question is, will he or won't he? Well, let me expound on the question. Governor John Bel Edwards, will he announce further restrictions of the populace of our state due to COVID-19, or will he ease some of the restrictions? There are people that think that a Phase 3 announcement could come as early as, well, I think right now as we speak, the governor's doing...
Louisiana to move to Phase 3 protocols, according to the governor.
You got a headline, all right.
Starting tomorrow.
Phase 3 means what, Bill?
I'm going to take off my damn pants.
Now, this, as far as we can tell, this is what Phase 3 means. You still have to wear a mask, but you can let it down over your nose, okay?
You can sneeze into your hand again.
The bars will be open, but you can't get a drink, you can't dance, and you can't laugh.
There will be no running with scissors. Mm-hmm. There will be no sticking a butter knife into the electrical outlet.
And anyone found tracking mud across the nice, clean floor will be taken away. I don't know what Phase 3 means. Does that mean that we're just going to increase the capacity?
Yeah, it means pretty close to normal.
More details tomorrow. It's like, why can't you give us details today? When they say we're moving into Phase 3, more details tomorrow, that tells me you don't have those details.
Well, they have some of them, but they have to disseminate it to all the different agencies.
The statewide mask mandate will stay in effect.
Let's see. Vulnerable individuals can resume public interactions, but should practice physical distancing. Low-risk populations may go as they wish, but consider minimizing their time spent in crowded places. Unrestricted staffing for employers, okay?
You can let your employees all come back.
Yeah. Visits to senior care facilities and hospitals can resume. Large venues can operate under limited physical distancing protocols. So instead of capacity, it's how can you distance. Gyms can be open if they adhere to standard sanitation protocols that were in place before this.
Bars can operate with increased standing room capacity.
Yeah.
Remember, one of the problems when they opened up Phase 2 was the bars were allowed to open, but one of the rules was everybody's got to have a seat. You ever gone to Tigerland? There's no seats.
God,
you go to Fred's, it's standing room only in there.
I haven't been to Tigerland in years.
Well, it's been probably 30 years for me,
You know why I don't go to Tigerland, right?
Well, it sucks, but other than that...
No, I walk in and it gets quiet and things start dropping and they go, Nark!
There's an old person in here.
Yeah.
I see old people.
I swear to you, years and years ago, when I was in the public relations business, I had a client, and we were going to meet to have a drink after work to discuss something. And he said, look, I'm going to meet somebody a little later on in the Tigerland area. Why don't we just grab a quick beer at Fred's at like 4 o'clock? It shouldn't be too crowded. And I said, okay, and I'm just like I am now. And I walk in. Remember that old commercial when E.F. Hutton spoke?
Yeah.
It was like that. And people started moving away, and the bartender said, you may want to take that tie off and put your jacket on the back of your chair so people can see that you're not wearing a badge and a gun. Okay. Okay.
Suddenly people were chewing on something. What is that in your mouth?
Now, and I mean no disrespect to these folks, because I think that, you know, as my dad used to tell me, nobody ever died from being careful, but lots of people die from being foolish. There are some people, and I know a few, that are very, very, very germophobic. They're almost pathological, convinced that they're going to get this disease, and that it's going to take...
Yet it's been 6 months and they haven't.
And it's going to take their life. So there's going to be some germaphobes that are like, I'm not ready for phase 3. Okay, it's all right if you're not.
Continue to practice phase 2 then.
Please.
Stay your ass in your house.
Yeah, you're not going to get any problems from me.
I don't care. You can stay home all you want. Just don't tell me I can't leave the house.
Now see, I wish they would allow me to add some things, since we're going to these things, like, you know, in phase 3, fat chicks will still not be allowed to wear yoga pants. Okay, put that in there. Supermarkets should check all of their stockers and checkers to see if, in the public interest, they should continue to wear masks or maybe even bags over their head.
Yeah, or maybe you should mask that butt crack.
Yeah. Nobody who is working in a frontline minimum wage job should be allowed to speak unless spoken to. So I could put those in.
I'm sorry. I think phase 3 should have included the masks. You know, I'm sorry. Every day I read different scientific research, and it all depends on where you are, whether you're aligned with the folks trying to sell you this virus, or you're aligned with the folks who think that this virus has been we've overreacted massively to this virus.
I'm not so sure that the mask mandate hasn't gone as well.
It says they're going to ask you to continue wearing the mask. I just read it. So that means that you're going to have people walking up to you in the store, wearing a mask. It's like, so.
You know what? I have forgotten mine several times, and no one has ever walked up to me and said, where do you shop that all these people are in your business constantly?
Albertson's Marblegate Shopping Center, and I've shopped there consistently for 22 years, and I have the manager at the place where I've spent my money religiously for 22 years walk up and tell me, you can't be in here. You need a mask. Well, I don't have a mask. Then he decided to go and get one and give it to me, and hands it to me. I put it on right away, and I said, did it ever occur to you to maybe have the mask in your damn pocket and approach the customer and offer them the mask instead of, you can't be here?
I don't want to put something on my face.
And I told the guy, I said, you are this close from losing the hundreds of dollars that I spend every week in this friggin' store with you can't be here. I was amazed that a store manager would talk to me in such a manner.
You have all these people that tell you you're walking the wrong way. You need to shop someplace else because you're shopping with a bunch of...
What store does not have your walking the wrong way now?
I've never had that happen. I shop at Rouse's. I shop at another Albertsons.
Well, you're paying too much for your No,
not at Rouse's. I'm not.
Rouse's has great prices.
I shop at Winn-Dixie. I shop at Fresh Market, and I have never had one of these people.
Just the regimentation
I'm talking about
us to swallow.
Why you? Why are they targeting you?
I didn't have a mask on.
I've done it without a mask.
I was walking the wrong way.
Because I have forgotten. I've walked the wrong way.
The you're going the wrong way thing, that happened to me in Walmart. And I was wearing my mask.
I shop at Walmart.
I was wearing my mask. And this was just another customer. You're going the wrong way, And I said, lady, I'm probably going to spend nearly $300 in this store here before I leave. I'm going to go any damned way I please.
Well, she doesn't care about that because you're not spending it with her. But I mean, here's the whole deal. You're shopping with a bunch of Gladys Kravitzes.
Yeah. Karens is what we call
I think
them.
you should find better places to shop until all this is over for the sake of your blood pressure.
You shop the places that are close to you. You know.
Oh, no, I shop the places that don't give me a lot of crap.
I'm not going to take a half-an-hour drive to find a Rouse's. I'm going to go to the
You got a
places-
high neighbor 100 yards from where you're shopping.
Okay, there, again, I no problem with the Crofassis and everything, but the price differentials, I don't want to get into that on the air, okay? But, you know, when you're on a budget, you got to go where it's most cost-effective. Don't you?
Oh, I do.
All right, then. Listen, it's time for us to take another quick break.
That's why I shop so many places, by the way. I read all their sales circulars.
I was really hoping Phase 3 would mean, you know, enough with the stupid masks, but no, we have to continue to depersonalize.
It's going to go away.
We're going to depersonalize each other at least through Christmas. You watch.
When we come back, we'll talk about another blowhard, the Atlantic Hurricane Trough. We've got more features out there.
Happy day.
Stick around.
Brand new location, 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
That's right, the Clarence Bug Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back.
Your dreams were your ticket out.
Your dreams were your ticket out. That was probably the worst thing John Sebastian ever did in his life.
Really?
And he probably made the most money from it.
Still making money from it. Applebee's is using it as their theme song.
Well, I'd kill myself. But
Welcome back. Have some microwave food.
Lovin' Spoonful, they did some really decent music as a band.
One of my favorites by the Lovin' Spoonful and John Sebastian, Did You Ever Have to Make Up Your Mind?
Oh, I love that. Sometimes you think you dig a girl the moment you've kissed her, and then you get distracted by her older sister. Yep.
Who hasn't been there? We are looking at the tropics, and it looks like 2020 is not done with us yet, my friends.
All right. I am seeing, let's start with the 60% chance of strengthening in the next 5 days.
Well, we can leave Renee and Paulette alone because those storms are not expected to affect land anywhere. They're going to remain.
What does Jay Grimes call them? Fish storms?
Yeah.
Fish storms.
Of course, they're playing hob with international shipping right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, imagine you're trying to get goods over from South Africa or from the Middle East, and your ships have to go through 2 tropical storms.
Mm-hmm. Then there is another one that's got a 40 to 60% chance that is just off the coast of Africa. It is unnamed yet. And then you've got 1, 2, 3 areas that have a less than 40% chance. The good news is 2 of those are projected to come into the Gulf, but they've got a less than 40% chance. And then you've got the other one that they thought was going to get a name, and it is sitting right at the North Carolina-South Carolina border with the Atlantic, and it ain't strengthening, so it'll be over inside of 5 days.
All right. But as the old man says, we're not out of the woods yet.
What is it with these?
Well, we've been told that, global warming, climate change, is going to give us more active hurricane seasons year after year after year. I'm trying to remember how many years ago it was that we went all the way through the alphabetical hurricane names, and then we just started going to Tropical Storm Alpha, Tropical Storm Beta.
It was the year of Rita, whenever that was.
Yeah, that was a very, very big. That was 2005
or 6.
Katrina and Rita was 5.
5, yeah.
But it was like Christmas time, and we still had storms brewing out there. It's like, good God.
Why do we go to the Greek alphabet after we're done?
Why not? What do you want to go to?
I thought we would go to, like, funny foreign names.
I'm game. We use plenty of funny foreign names as it is. I still can. The ice storm this year why was that Isaias instead of Isaias?
I think they wanted to screw with all the people in broadcast.
It's like, so it's Isaias, but we're just going to say it with a Latin accent. It's Isaias.
I think they want to mess with everybody in broadcasting.
Yeah. See how many idiots.
And I think it was effective.
Yeah. Anytime I've ever seen that name in print before, I was like, that's Isaias.
So, do you know, like 10 letters into the Greek alphabet, or are they going to have to educate us on that?
No, they're probably going to have to educate. Because
Alpha and Beta are first.
Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta.
No, Delta is after Gamma. Or Gamma's after Delta.
Dude, I don't know. See, I didn't go to college, so I didn't know Greek system. I don't, we never had to do this stuff.
Well, I used to know it drunk. Marty, pour me a couple big glasses of scotch, and I'll remember the Greek alphabet again before we're over with.
Did you really know it drunk?
Oh, hell yeah.
You could recite it drunk?
Yeah, we used to have a little limerick.
So is it Alpha, Beta, Kappa? No, that's K. That's a K. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the F...
But then you've also got an Upsilon.
Yeah.
You got an Iota.
There's
also
I. Upsilon and Poopsilon.
Yeah. You got a Theta. Hey, give me that scotch, and before we're done, I'll be able to do the alphabet.
I know what Whiskey Tango Foxtrot means.
Yeah.
And I think that sums up 2020 pretty well.
And I think that applies. that should be, the first one should get 3. That's what we ought to do. We ought to go.
Liquor names.
Yeah.
Hurricanes should be liquor names.
Like,
let's start with that.
Would you mind getting hit by, Hurricane John Walker?
Well, we'd have to start with Hurricane Amaretto.
Yeah.
And then we could do Hurricane, what's a good B? Bushmills.
Yeah.
Hurricane. Let's have some fun with
Hurricane C.
Crown.
Crown Royal.
Okay.
Hurricane D.
What's your D?
Dickel. George Dickel.
George Dickel. There you go.
Which used to be a cheap whiskey, and now it's become a very expensive whiskey. I've never quite. We used to buy George Dickel for like next to nothing in college.
Yeah, we used to make jokes about getting sick on George Dickel, but
all right, now, E should be easy.
I can't think of one off the top of my head that begins with an E. But I've really I've cut my alcohol consumption almost to nothing here in the last couple of years.
I think there's a gin that begins with E.
Mm-hmm.
All right, F, Fireball.
Fireball would be a good one.
G.
Well, you're just going to embarrass the hell out of me with this one.
Grant Scotch.
Like I said, you're just going to embarrass
Proves that I drink too much. H. Hiram Walker.
Yeah. The J has got to be Johnny Walker Red.
Yeah, Johnny Walker Black, please.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. H-I. We didn't have an I.
But that would be fun, wouldn't it? When we run out of storms, we'll just move into liquor names.
And every time you see a forecast with that name, you can make it a drinking game.
Or
game.
we
You have to
could
have a
go
shot.
with retired automobile models. You could have Hurricane Chevette.
Hurricane Edsel.
I don't know. I just think it's highly disturbing to me that we have more and more seasons.
Hurricane Pinto comes with fires.
True enough. We get all the way through, and we have to go to the secondary naming system. That's too many damn storms.
You think? Now, Jay Grimes was the other night on the weather map. He had the radar turned farther to our east, or the satellite image, rather. And he could say, this one, which was in the center of Africa, and you could see circulation, it was huge. He says, this one is going to come out as a tropical storm.
Come off the coast as a tropical storm?
Yeah, now it hadn't done that yet. But it was humongous. And it was right in
I've
the
seen
center
the system.
of the
I saw it
continent.
yesterday. It's a big system.
God almighty.
So, pray. The thing to do is if you don't have flood insurance now, get it while there is no named storm active.
Yeah. Get it while it's not in the Gulf.
Yeah, because they won't sell it to you if there's a named storm active.
Are you required to have yours?
Am I required to have flood insurance?
Yeah. By your mortgage
No.
company? No, but you have it anyway.
Yes.
And has it true, because I'm about to renew ours, that the premiums have gone up, or have they
Our
been...
premiums went up, but not a lot.
Not a lot?
Yeah, it's still under $1,000 a year.
There you go. Well,
And when you think about what you can lose,
true.
$1,000 a year is not that bad.
Not that bad. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more Exiles TV in just a moment.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Clarence Bugg Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Buggs Show. Tell you what. Oh, wait, gotta run. Gotta go. Bye.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. How y'all doing out there? So, LSU has announced that there will be about 28,000 fans. That's 25% capacity at home games. And they, like a lot of other colleges, are saying no tailgating. And I think they're going to get a lot more tears and outrage over the no tailgating.
Oh, yeah. How many people do you know that love to tailgate but don't necessarily even have tickets to the game? They go for that experience.
Well,
and then when everybody shuffles into the stadium, they pack up their stuff and go home and watch the game on TV.
And I am going to sit there and say, I know that, and LSU is not the only one, okay? Alabama, Auburn, Florida, a lot of big programs.
Virtually any SEC school is going to be a major tailgate school.
Well, yeah, and you know, a lot of other ones, you know, are sitting there saying that they're going to give a tailgating plan soon. But like Oklahoma State, no tailgating. Texas will allow tailgating. Alabama, no tailgating. Auburn, no tailgating.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing that bothers me is I have been out there for the tailgates. We have some friends that tailgate out there regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And that is no different in most cases than going to your friend's home. You know, you don't see the tailgaters. They're
not packed like sardines.
No, they got lots of space between them and the one next door.
No. I think this is another case where, I'm sorry, I think we're overreacting to the COVID virus.
Well,
and what we're telling people they can't do.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to take another point of view that it may be a matter of convenience, because tailgating, and I'm talking about high-end tailgating, no pulling your hibachi out and setting it on the ground and grilling your 4 hamburgers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, $700,000 motorhomes with satellite TVs.
Pulling a flatbed trailer with a 24-foot flatbed trailer that's all cooker.
Okay.
All of it.
So here's what I'm thinking. I may be wrong. A lot of universities are not making as much money off the tailgating spaces as they would if they sold individual parking permits to individual vehicles in that same footprint. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, the great tailgating that we have here, and they have at Ohio State, and they have at Alabama, is keeping people from buying tickets.
Yeah.
Last year, we did walk-up tickets a whole bunch, and they had sales the year before through the ticket office. Now, when was the last time an LSU game had all kinds of tickets hanging out? 4 years ago. Tailgating, they're out there. They said, I don't have to be next to some guy who yells and screams constantly and who smells like my butt. He's spilling shit all around. You don't have to be around that. And I can sit in my luxurious motorhome, which I paid a fortune for. I can have 4 games on at the same time with all my screens. I can eat some really, really good food. I can drink call brand liquor. and be there before the game, during the game, after the game, I'm okay with this. I think it's keeping people out of the stadiums and costing them money.
Listen to this. Prohibited items on campus during game day. Trailers. There's the cookers I was just talking about. Tents, canopies, structures of any kind. So those little 10-foot square throw-up tents that we can buy at Costco, forget about it.
Yeah.
Displays, decorations, lights. No.
Yeah, no tailgating.
Bars and any communal food or beverage. Which means you may not cook food and serve it up to whomever. No coolers on the campus. No catering or food sales. No tables, no chairs, no grills, no portable cooking mechanisms of any kind, no generators, no fencing, no flooring, no TVs, no portable audio systems, nothing. Oh, by the way, the one thing on this list, fun. No fun.
And again, no running with scissors.
No fun allowed.
No crossing the street without looking both ways.
You know, it's a good thing he's not running for re-election, because if he were going to run for re-election for another term, his campaign T-shirt should say, John Bell Edwards, no fun allowed.
Oh, no. This has nothing to do with John Bell.
This is LSU, but it's because we're in phase 3. If the governor said there is no phase, we're just opening it up, what would LSU do?
They do the same thing that they've done because they're stuck with it now.
They could reverse it in the middle of the season. Say, you know what? Everybody, bring it on. Party time.
They were talking about this 3 months ago. And
this is out of what's the phrase, Bill? An overabundance of caution.
But here's the whole thing. There's no caution built into this. I would feel better in non-COVID times about walking to a tailgate and then walking to another one at LSU than I would going into most barbershops or salons. Nobody gets in my face when I'm at a tailgate.
It's outdoors.
Yeah.
There's a thing called wind. And yeah, like you said, when was the last time at a tailgate experience you were closer than 3 feet to someone's expelled breath? See, the thing is, maintain social distancing. We tend to do that naturally.
Yeah.
You know, we don't.
I do more of that naturally than I did before COVID.
When 5 people are gathered having a conversation, just standing up in, say, a parking lot or a field, and they're having a conversation, when those people are all, generally speaking, at least 3 feet apart, 2.5, 3 feet apart, okay? And if they're closer than that, they're probably up to no good. Because they don't want anybody to hear what they're talking about.
Or maybe they're up to some real good and they just don't want you to in on it.
You know, I know there's people out there horrified and they're pulling their mask up over their face because they're afraid they could get COVID from listening to me. But don't be such a chicken crap.
Is it any different from going to a Walmart or a Lowe's or a Home Depot or Clegg's Garden Center on a busy Saturday or Sunday morning? Is it any different?
No.
I mean, what do they think we all do at these tailgates?
Swap spit, I guess. You know, just are you up there just passing your breath on, you know, your droplets on to random people just for the hell of it?
But I do believe
an overabundance of caution.
I do believe that a lot of major universities are seeing their very high-end ticket sales take it in the shorts because of tailgating.
Do you know what you and I ought to do? We're generally available in the afternoons. We ought to make note of when the next Board of Supervisors meeting is. And you and I just go sit in on the next LSU Board of Supervisors meeting, because I'm going to tell you something. It's an education.
Oh, yeah.
This is a university. It's the state's flagship university. And, you know, I would not want to compute the collective brain power of that board. Some of those people don't know their ass from their elbow.
Well, they're all political appointees.
Right, exactly.
You know, I mean,
they have so much trouble getting anything done on the LSU board.
But, you know, it's kind of like when Bayou Country Superfest decided to go to New Orleans. LSU really didn't mind that because that gave them the opportunity to replace their stadium turf at the time that they wanted to do it anyway.
Yeah, well, and they also did some other major renovations in the stadium.
How much is going to be done to those big old parking lots when there's no tailgating allowed during the season? You know, first of all, if you're being cautious, I think you're being unduly cautious. That is my opinion. I might be wrong. We will find out if the universities, the big programs that allow tailgating, if those communities see big spikes, then I will say you were right, okay? But I don't see it any difference from going to Clegg's or Home Depot or Walmart on a busy Saturday or Sunday morning.
The other thing is they're talking about, well, you know, this will we'll take a year off from tailgating, and this will help us to get a better. They don't even take into account, what if COVID hasn't gone away by March or April of next year? What if COVID is still as present as it was this past spring? What if it's worse?
There'll be a lot of people running around like their hair is on fire.
But at some point, though, do we not just go, you know, there's a disease going around, we need to be a little bit careful not to spread it. If you're not feeling well, stay the hell home.
Well, and you know what? I would think, now again, tailgating has changed since I was at LSU. Let me tell you, the tailgate out there, you got some bucks to tailgate out there.
Oh, yeah.
All right? And
big expensive tents. A lot of people sink a lot of money into just the equipment that they cook on.
Yeah, follow me on this. These people have a lot to lose from getting sick. They would have big disruption to their business, which they're probably a prime mover in.
Mm-hmm.
They would have big disruption to their family life. Not to mention the assets that they have going into this. These are not people that are going to take undue chances with their health. This is probably the safest group to have in a large bunch. These aren't a bunch of people that, you know, pull their package of 98-cent hot dogs out of their jeans back pocket and have a 12-pack, a handle of Natty, and sit down and say, did you remember to bring the charcoal? Because I didn't.
In the last couple of years, how many tailgates have you visited where the food was gourmet quality?
A lot of them have it catered, for God's sake. These people have a lot more to use, and they are generally, they didn't get to where they are in business to afford all these nice toys by being foolish and stupid.
By the way, it's a Facebook meme, and that's where I got the idea, but what if everybody just decides to show up en masse? It's like, this isn't tailgating. This is a peaceful protest of the opposing team. Then what are they going to do?
Yeah, well, there won't be any food, so nobody will show up.
Yeah. Well, that's true. No food, no booze, no party.
I mean, I remember when we were kind of in that zone, okay, we got to walk around this way because we really don't want to visit this tailgate because their food kind of sucks, and we get tied up with lots of conversation, but we want to go to this one. I mean, these are people, seriously, I'm not kidding. They have a lot at risk. Many of them, by the way, are in healthcare professions, and they would not go out and do it if they thought there was a greater risk than what they're facing every day. These people will take precautions. They might but hell, I mean, last year we were at the traffic light at Skip Berkman and Stadium Drive, and there's a couple of really big tailgates there, and they're so nice. Like they've seen us before, and one of them used to listen to us on the radio. And hey, you want something to eat? Nice. And I mean, they were sanitizing their tables like they were going to do surgery. I mean, one of the wives had her little spray bottle with her Lysol Clorox, and every time somebody leaned on the table, the minute they got up, she was spritzing it down. These are not stupid people.
We're going to take a quick break, take care of some business. We'll be right back with more Exiles TV.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. taste the feeling.
That's right, the Clarence Bug Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hey, welcome back to Exiles TV. This is not a major story, but it's breaking and it's sad. I'm an animal lover. I always have been. The baby gorilla born at the Audubon Zoo last week has died. This was a western lowland gorilla. These animals are on the critically endangered list. This was the first baby gorilla born at the Audubon Zoo in 24 years.
Wow.
And the video of mama and child was just, it just warmed your heart to see that mama gorilla just hugging on that baby and kissing it, and you know, you could see that she was just so happy to have that baby. And now the sad news comes that the baby did not thrive. It didn't make it.
And they don't have a mating pair, right? They had to bring mama to get pregnant and then bring her back, right?
Now, I did notice in the video with mama and baby that the baby did seem kind of weak and just kind of lolling its head about. But I thought that was because it was a newborn, you know? I mean, this was video shot like on the 6th after the baby was born on the 4th. So I thought that, you know, I mean, most newborn babies just kind of loll about, you know, the head goes in the arms and stuff. But
do the veterinarians have any thoughts as to what it might be?
They just said that they found it lethargic in its mother's arms. They transferred it to the animal hospital, but veterinarians were unable to revive the infant. So they'll do a post-mortem and try to determine exactly what happened. It appears there was a lack of adequate lactation from the mom in order to support the infant, but they said a necropsy will determine exactly what the cause of death was.
That's
just so sad. First baby gorilla born at the Audubon Zoo in 24 years.
And these are critically endangered, right?
Yes. So,
wow.
It's in the wild. People will kill a gorilla for its hand and its feet, for its hands and its feet. I don't know why. I don't want to get off into a big slam the Chinese thing, but Chinese medicine is part science and it's still part hoodoo.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimate Chinese medicine still thinks that, you know, rhinoceros horn will do something for you, or gorilla hands or tiger paws or things like this. And Chinese medicine is largely responsible for the poaching murders of animals across the African continent and in other continents as well. And that's why these gorillas are at risk. And the thing is, when you bring them into captivity, they're not meant to live in captivity, and they don't like living in. I mean, would you?
Well, no, and particularly the big gorillas like this, they cover a lot of ground when they're in the wild. They don't
range.
Yeah, they don't hang around in one place, and they like to move around, and they move very, very quickly.
So it comes as no surprise that they don't breed and thrive in captivity. But I don't know what's to be done to make it so it's safe for these creatures. Again, I worry that some of these, of course, species go extinct all the time. And I know somebody listening to, come on, Gallagher, species go extinct all the time. But I think the thing that bothers me about when it's the great apes is they're so much like us.
Well, you know, in terms of the science of it and the ecology of it, what's really worrisome, or should be worrisome to human beings on this planet, is the very, very tiny basic species going extinct, because most of them have a big, big role, and the very large species going extinct, because they also are important for us to study sociology, psychology, and hard basic science when it comes to medicine and things like that. We learn from them. I'm not saying we use them as test subjects. I'm saying
you just observe.
Yeah, we learn from them. You know, if the and this one isn't endangered, so I'll say it. If the Carolina wren goes extinct, and there's lots of them. Oh, they're in Baton Rouge right now, by the way, before they head back to the East Coast. If that goes extinct, there are like 40 other species of wrens that are biologically almost identical, okay? But if you take, you know, this lowland gorilla, if there's only like 1,000 of them left, and they're illegally hunted, and we can't get them to reproduce, eventually they're going to go away, and that's bad for human ecology.
We need to curb the international market for exotic animal parts. You know, we did that with ivory, and we've done it pretty damned well, where ivory is a substance forbidden worldwide.
Yeah.
And if you're in possession of ivory and it's newer ivory, you're going to be shamed for it and maybe even prosecuted. We need to do that with these other animals that, I mean, sharks. The Japanese love shark fin soup. So they'll go out and they'll catch sharks, they'll gig them, they'll cut their dorsal fin off and let them go. Because, well, the other sharks will eat them. But in the meantime, here's this animal that's dying from this horrible wound on its back. It's just a shark, you know, it's a brainless creature. But we shouldn't feel like these animals are ours to do with as we see fit.
Well, we shouldn't think we're human beings if we act that way toward animals.
Now, I know this channel runs more hunting programming than any other channel on cable, in my opinion, and I applaud them for it, because hunters tend to be responsible, and they understand that what they're doing is they're helping to control these populations so they don't overpopulate, which can be bad for the species.
And so that they don't winter kill, so they don't starve to death. But every hunter I've known in Louisiana and Texas, and a lot of hunters in Illinois, you know, they would be the first one to say, no, you do not want to shoot that doe. It's too young. It's going to reproduce. You don't want to shoot that.
Right.
It's bad for all of us, not to mention very bad for the animal herd.
And most hunters that I personally know eat what they kill.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're not prepared to eat it, don't kill it. And that means you, Mr. Big Game Hunter, I went to Africa and I shot a giraffe. It's like, a giraffe, for God's sakes, why?
Yeah.
You know? I shot a lion that was on his last. Well, it was okay. He was an old lion. He was going to die anyway. It's like, so he needed you to blow his brains out?
Yeah, he didn't need your help.
I don't like trophy hunting. I don't like big game hunting. But if you're going to eat, by all means.
Well, again, I mean, even our fishermen in Louisiana, they will sometimes leave a very good fishing area because of the presence of seafood or sea life that they don't want to catch, because the very act of hauling them up from the depth causes their lungs to explode.
Yeah.
our Louisiana fishermen are very responsible about that.
Fish get the bends. Their internal organs will explode because they're brought up from deep depths.
This thing, if mama can't lactate, that baby is not going to make it, and maybe they shouldn't send her to be mated again if that is a problem she has.
Well, or maybe they need to be prepared. Now, this is going to sound cruel. Take baby from mama and bottle feed that infant until it is of a big enough size. Then you run the risk. Let's say it makes it up to 9 weeks old and it's in good shape because it's been bottle fed. Then you reintroduce it to mama, and mama wants nothing to do with it. So, what's the right answer? I don't know, but it's just a terrible tragedy.
Haven't they been able to teach various primates that have this same problem how to bottle feed? Haven't they been able to teach them how to do that?
Well, I don't honestly know the answer to that question, but
seems to me I saw something on National Geographic or something about that.
I have a friend who used to work at the Audubon Zoo, and he worked with primates, and he's moved on. He's working at a zoo across the country now, but I know that he will probably find this heartbreaking news.
I do too. I mean, it's just like when they try to mate a panda, and it doesn't work. It's a shame. You feel bad. You feel bad because of what you've lost.
We're going to take one last break, and we'll be back, wrap things up for today's edition of Exiles TV in just a moment. Thanks for being with us.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
Welcome back, Exiles TV, wrapping up on this Thursday. How did it get to be Thursday already?
Well, Wednesday and Tuesday and Monday came before, and it's a holiday weekend. See,
That's what messed me up.
We had Monday. It's funny because it's like you and I don't really get days off anymore. So Monday didn't really mean all that much to me. Now you and the missus were probably still celebrating the anniversary.
Yes, we were celebrating our anniversary. Our anniversary always falls very, very close to Labor Day.
Monday we have no podcast. We have no television program. So Monday is a goof around day, do the laundry day at my house anyway. So
take care of chores, try to book some guests, look at other things. It's so funny. I used to always laugh when when you were on air at most radio stations. You got Thanksgiving Day off, but not the day after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Like anybody was going to miss you the day after Thanksgiving when they're all sleeping late. Okay, nobody is listening to Morning Drive the day after Thanksgiving. They're sleeping late.
I'm going to go one further. People aren't actively consuming radio. They may have the radio on in the car, but they're yickety, yakety, yickety, yakety, and off they go to the mall for the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But not only would we have to work the day after Thanksgiving, a lot of times, how many times did you want somebody to say, hey, man, take a remote set up and go talk to us from the Mall of Louisiana and tell us all the stuff that's going on? Who cares?
I did that for 4 years when I worked afternoons. I did mornings on the day after Thanksgiving from different locations.
I was all for it if it was going to pay me money, but if it was just to be somewhere, just so the radio station could be seen somewhere.
Well, I was going somewhere. The point is, you never got Labor Day off. Labor Day was not one. You got 4th of July. You didn't have to come and do a radio show. But on Labor Day, the day that is a government mandated rest for the workers, you were in the studio.
What other day? Good Friday, a holiday for almost everyone else. Radio stations like, why? Why would you want Good Friday off? I don't know. Spend some time with my family.
All their management and salespeople were taking the day off.
Exactly. That was the one that used to bother me, was when you were expected, and I mean expected, it was just like, well, of course you're going to work that day. And you'd be reporting on a weekday to an empty office because everybody else got the damn day off.
Yep.
Because it's radio, because the beatings will continue until morale improves.
Well, and again, all of these old paradigms, where, somebody went to a seminar once that said, you need to be, your air personalities need to be involved in the holiday. And that doesn't mean they have to work on the holiday. It means, like, prior to Thanksgiving, you need to be talking about what's going on in the community for Thanksgiving.
Do a toy drive or something like that.
Yeah.
But you do that the weeks beforehand.
But, they used to love making sure that we never got the same amount of holidays.
I never understand it was a point of honor for so many of them that people work, that their air staff work on days when no one's listening.
Yeah.
Who the hell listens to the radio on Christmas Day? I don't. Do you?
No.
Crazy. But that's a whole other topic for a whole other story.
I watched the 24 Hours of a Christmas Story, and I like it that way.
One quick thought. I've told people as recently as last week, I miss having a radio show. I don't work missing at a radio station at all. Not one bit.
See you next week on Tuesday. Podcast tomorrow. Take care.
Bye-bye.